Since 1956, your local hometown station and the home of the Breads and Fillies. WCYN, 1400 AM and 101.3 FM.
You're tuning in to the live coverage of Harrison County basketball. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Hinton Mills, Sorrel Home Medical, Harrison Memorial Hospital, Southern States, Edward Jones Investments, Bluegrass Stockyards, Ag Credit Mid-America, Van Hook Hardware, Poindexter Lumber Company, Angelo's Pizza, Hardee's of Cynthiana, First Methodist Church, State Farm Insurance Agent Joe Cochran, Snappy Tomato Pizza, El Paricatin Mexican Restaurant, Weber Farms, Maysville Community and Technical College, Kentucky Farm Bureau Agent Chad Eversole, and Judy Construction. And now for all the play-by-play action, here's your host, Ed Lewis.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Hilltop, home of the Harrison County Fillies. And tonight, the Harrison County Fillies looking for win number 1 on this year's campaign as they make their way back here to the Hilltop after being on the road last week. So we'll see what happens tonight. The Fillies 0-3 on the year, taking on the Bulldogs of Holmes, of Covington Holmes. The Lady Bulldogs 1-3, picking up their first win last ball game. We are here for our Cynthiana Hardee's pregame report. We appreciate you spending a little bit of your day along with us here tonight. As you probably know, Jim Swinford on the road tonight with the Harrison County Thoroughbreds, also looking for their first win of the season as they made their way to Fleming County to take on the Panthers. You can catch all that action on the radio side of things on WCYN. Radio side. But we're glad you're along with us. As we said, this is our Cynthiana Hardee's pregame report. The Fillies have had a kind of a rough start. They started the year at 0-3 on the year. Of course, starting the season just a week or so ago with a loss to Lafayette, and then falling to a team that's always a tough team out of the 8th in Woodford County last Friday night, and then Saturday making the trip north to Wilder to take on Lloyd Memorial. Was not a good afternoon for the Fillies. Fillies, as we mentioned, 0-3 on the year. They do have a busy week. The rest of this week after tonight, they're back here at the Hilltop opening up the 2A tournament, where they will have a date on Friday night at 6:30 with the Lady Knights of Lexington Catholic. Then on Saturday, they're scheduled to play a 1:30 scheduled start up at Beechwood. Weather permitting. I know they're talking a little bit of snow making its way in here Thursday night, so we'll see what happens with that. We'll keep you updated as far as that goes. But that is the way the Fillies' schedule looks over the next few days or so. And we'll see what happens here tonight. As far as this Covington Holmes Ball Club, as we mentioned, they're 1-3 on the young season. Lady Bulldogs, kind of a brand new look this year. As we mentioned, they have had a rough couple of years, and they've got a brand new coach as well out of the 9th region, out of Northern Kentucky, as they are 1-3. They started their season a week ago as they fell to Collins 50-35. Then last Wednesday, falling to Bracken County over at Bracken 63-29. They then were able to take that back. They lost to Carroll County 66-44 last Friday night, and on Saturday they were able to beat Williamstown and part of the Donna Murphy Classic up in Newport by a final 43-20 to count for their lone win on the season. Now, their week, they still have not been at home this year. So after tonight, they'll be at home on Thursday night against Villa Madonna, is the way their week looks as far as that goes with the Lady Bulldogs. We said new coach under Risa Watkins, kind of a brand new lineup as well. In fact, when we got here this evening, they handed us a new roster. And so the roster on the KHSAA didn't have any of those kids on it. So kind of a new look as far as the Lady Bulldogs go here tonight. Earlier tonight, the Harrison County Fillies won the JV game by 10 points earlier tonight. So the Fillies did pick up a win in the JV action earlier this evening. Tell you what let's do. Let's step out, and we're going to hear from some folks allowing us to have our video broadcast being brought to you tonight by Kentucky Farm Bureau and Farm Credit Mid-America. We'll have more as we're inch our way closer to tip-off tonight. You're listening to the Cynthiana Hardee's pregame report here on WCYN.
Congratulations. You're officially an agent.
Sweet. I get one of those cool agent names, right? Like Viper or Shadow?
Well, Wayne, we're thinking you go by Wayne.
Oh, yeah. Wayne's fine, too.
With Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, there's an agent in every county who's involved in the community, which means you'll know your agent by name. In this case, Wayne.
I got it. What about 006?
Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment.
At Farm Credit Mid-America, we're here to make rural dreams a reality. Whether it's financing your farm, expanding your agribusiness, or building your country homes, we've been proudly supporting farmers and rural families for over a century. As a customer-owned cooperative, we don't just offer loans and insurance, we invest in your success. Call Michael Furnish at 859-254-2741 or visit fcma.com today. Farm Credit Mid-America, financing rural America's dreams.
Back here at the Hilltop, it was a few minutes before tip-off before we head down to the floor. And for tonight's lineups and national anthem, as we said, you are listening to the Cynthiana Hardy's pregame report here on WCYN, our video broadcast all year long, being brought to you by Kentucky Farm Bureau and Farm Credit Mid-America. We're going to step out now again as we will be hearing from Dr. Ted Beam from First Methodist Church for tonight's opening prayer.
Let's pray, please. Our Father in heaven, we thank you for your incredible love and grace to us. We thank you for these teams that have gathered wanting to play and have fun in the great competition. So we're asking you to move in a wonderful way. You help each of the teams to do well, to do even better than they all hope for. We ask you to help them learn even better tonight about the sportsmanship, about fair play, about those lessons that they can take throughout their lives. We ask you to protect them all from any injuries. We ask you to be with the parents and the fans, that it will be a wonderful time tonight. Lift both schools to you, both teams, the coaches, the officials. Will you hold them all, please, in the palm of your hand. In Jesus' name, amen. I'm Ted Beam, pastor of First Methodist Church in Cynthiana at the corner of Pike Street and Church Street. And we hope you come worship with us this coming Sunday at 11 a.m.
Dr. Ted Beam and the First Methodist Church with tonight's opening prayer. Let's take a look at our starting lineups. As we mentioned, Holmes out of Covington, out of the 9th region, 1 win and 3 losses on the young season under head coach Reese Watkins. Their lineup looking like this. Getting a start will be number 4, London Scott. London Scott getting a start here tonight. Also getting a start will be number 5, Jada Hill. Jada Hill also getting a start and will wear the number 5. Number 11, Jade Moore. Jade Moore getting a start for the Holmes Bulldogs. Jade Moore. Also getting a start will be Carly Riley. Carly Riley wears the number 14, and she will be getting a start as well. And the final 5th member of the lineup will be Audrey Wilson. Wilson wears the number 20, and she'll be getting a start for the Bulldogs as well. As far as Harrison County, under head coach Bill Watson, with a record of 0-3 on the young year, leading things off will be Keely Custard. Custard is senior. She wears the number 21, averages 15 points on the season. Then following that, also getting a start tonight, averaging 4 points on the year, sophomore Kaylee Banks. Banks wears the number 25. Getting a start will be a sophomore, Naomi Farrell Law. Farrell Law averages 4 points, and she'll wear the number 20, and she gets a start for the Fillies. Also getting a start will be senior Lauren Hicks. Hicks wears the number 30 and has a .0 average on the young season. Also, Elise Williams. Williams, a junior. She wears the number 4 and averages 1.3 points on the year. She will be getting a start for Harrison County. Once again, as we said, Holmes will be going with Scott, Hill, Moore, Riley, Wilson. Harrison County with Custard, Banks, Farrell Law, Hicks, and Williams. In just a matter of moments, we'll be heading to the floor for Assistant Athletic Director Scott Fields, our PA announcer tonight, for the starting lineups as well as our national anthem. As we mentioned, Harrison County, after tonight, they'll be back here at the Hilltop on Friday at 6:30, a little start earlier. We'll have that game on the radio as they will be playing the Lady Knights of Lexington Catholic, a very tough opponent as it's opening of the 2A tournament. Harrison County hosting the first couple of rounds as far as the Section 5 2A. And so they will be having that game scheduled here at the Hilltop on Friday night. That is the only other game as far as the Hilltop goes. They will also be on the road to Beechwood. As far as the Breads go, after tonight, they are off until next week. And so, of course, as they are playing Fleming County. Right now, let's head down to the floor for our PA announcer, Scott Fields.
This time, please stand over your hats for the playing of the national anthem. The colors are being presented by cadets, the Harrison City High School Air Force Junior Arlington City Alberta.
Colors being presented tonight by the Air Force Junior ROTC for Harrison County.
Number 4, London Scott. Number 5, Jay Hill. Number 11, Jay Moore. Number 14, Carter Bryant. And number 20, Holly Wilson. And coach, Rita White. And now, 2025-2026 Harrison County Phillies. Number 4, junior, Alyssa Williams. Assault number 20, Natalie Law. And senior, 21, Keely Castro. And sophomore, 25, Kate Banks. And a senior, number 30, Lauren. And coach of the Phillies, Mr. Bill Watson. Assisted by Nikki Watson, Tim Marshall, Illinois,
There are your starting lineups as we are just about inches away from getting this tipped off tonight. Harrison County out of the 10th region. And Covington Holmes, of course, out of the 9th region, out of Northern Kentucky. Holmes at 1-3. Phillies looking for their first win on the season. Once again, as we mentioned, Holmes with Scott, Hill, Moore, Riley, and Wilson. Harrison County with Banks, Custer, Farrell Law, Hicks, and Williams. As we'll get ready to get this underway in just a matter of moments. Getting ready to jump is Jade Moore for Holmes. So you take a look at opening, of course. He'll be right to left on the floor, and jumping for Harrison County will be the sophomore Naomi Farrell Law. Working with a three-man officiating crew is most of the time anymore. Ball is up in the air, knocked around, and quickly coming out with it will be Harrison County. Bringing the ball down is Banks. Banks out front, being loosely guarded by Hill. She'll go down the left side. But Custer puts it up and in. Harrison County goes up 2-0, barely underway at 7:45 here in the first quarter. London Scott comes across the timeline, being picked up by Custer. Harrison County and man-to-man. Going over to the left side is Scott. Scott with a couple more dribbles. Banks will pick her up, looking to go inside. Over to the left side, it'll be Wilson. Wilson back out front, continues to try to move to Riley. Riley looking inside. Over to Moore. Moore down to the right corner. She continues to try to fight her way in. Williams hanging out with her. Ball knocked out of her hands, and it's called off of Williams. Or off of Moore, rather. It'll be Harrison County ball. Phillies up 2-0, barely underway. Phillies get ready to throw it in. It'll be Naomi Farrell Law, the sophomore. She'll get it into Banks. Banks immediately back to Law, and then back over to Kaylee Banks. Across the way we go. Keely Custer comes down about 10 feet out, gives it away to Elisa Williams, about 15 on the right side. No good. Coming out with the rebound will be London Scott. Scott running the show for the Bulldogs. Brings the ball down on the right side. Continues to try to dribble. Back out front. Continues to move, and hanging right with her is Farrell Law. Left side. Picks up her dribble. Goes over to Hill. Jada Hill around the free throw stripe. Gives way. Bulldogs come back underneath. That's Riley. She'll miss the shot. Out with the rebound come the Phillies. Custer looking to run coast to coast. Inside to Farrell Law. Ball's intercepted by Audrey Wilson, and here come the Bulldogs. Running down the left side is London Scott. Scott looking inside. Custer to pick her up. Gives way to Hill. Hill, long three-pointer from the right wing. No good. Ball tipped around. And we got our first whistle of the night. Foul called that time against Jade Moore. Moore's first of the night. Well, do you have a big group to feed, or are you just hungry? Either way, Snap Tomato Pizza can take care of you. The Beast Pizza is great for birthdays or parties, or just if you're very, very hungry. 235-7627. That's 235-SNAP. Of course, they have sandwiches and salads and all kinds of good stuff, and very nice folks down at Snappy Tomato Pizza. Custer will receive the ball. She'll bring it down to Farrell Law out on the left wing, back out front. Keely looking to go inside. Hanging out with her is Scott. She'll get away from her. Right wing gives it away to Hicks. Hicks puts it up and in. Her first bucket of the ball game. 4-0 our score. Phillies up at 6:08 here in the first quarter. Bringing the ball down on the right side is Hill. Hill gets it across the timeline. She's picked up by Banks. Continues to drive on the left. Looking to go inside, and hanging right with her is Banks. Throws across the court to Scott. Scott not quite ready for it. Out of bounds it'll go, and with a turnover. Ball back in Harrison County's hands. Phillies 0-3 on the year. Have scored 95 points in their first 4 ball games, but have given up 127. Ball brought down, looking inside to Williams. Williams kicks it back over to Banks. Long three-pointer, bounces everywhere but in. Out with the rebound is Williams. She'll put it up and in. 6-0 her score. Bring it down on the left side. Custer will pick her up. Williams looking to go inside. She'll give away to Hill. Hill about 5 feet out, puts up the shot. No good. Out with the rebound, Farrell Law. Ball knocked out of bounds. Off by Carly Riley. So yet another turnover. We'll remind you, after the ball game, we'll have our post-game report where we'll name the Judah Construction player of the ball game coming up during a post-game. Right side, Banks will give it back to Custer. Custer looking to do something with it. Going into a 2-1-2 zone all of a sudden in the Bulldogs. First time we've seen them throw a zone at Harrison County tonight. Going inside to Banks. She'll give it to Hill. Hill back over across to Williams. Williams back out to Banks. Banks goes in the lane, puts it up, and bounces off. Williams out with the rebound. She'll go up. No. Knocked it back out by Riley. She'll get it into the hands of London Scott, and Scott brings the ball down. Phillies quickly back defensively. Goes around, puts up a wild-looking shot out of bounds. It'll go back to Harrison County. 4:42 here in the first quarter. Phillies up 6-0. Ball thrown in. Keeley Custer coming down. Comes across the timeline, left side to Farrell Law, back out front to Banks. Banks resets the offense. She'll find Hill underneath. Lauren puts it up, not able to make it fall as it comes off the side of the rim. Out with the rebound will be London Scott. Scott bringing the ball down on the right side. Farrell Law will pick her up as Harrison remains in their man-to-man defense. Right side nearly turned the ball over, and she'll do just that as she is stripped by Farrell Law. Naomi Farrell Law will lead the charge, puts it up, no good. Ball knocked around. Williams gets the long rebound, back out to Custer. Custer fights her way, it punks all the defense, puts it up and in for 2. Her 4th point of the ball game. Phillies go up 8-0. 4:03 here in the first quarter. Timeout on the floor. It's a 30-second timeout called by Coach Watkins and the Bulldogs. So Phillies up 8-0 halfway through the first quarter. See if they can continue to add to this lead here tonight. Kind of a relatively small crowd for a night, but it is the first night in December, or one of the first early games in December, a couple of weeks before Christmas. And, of course, the boys are on the road tonight. There is a musical choir event, I believe, some kind of musical event going on in the auditorium. So lots going on besides just this Harrison County Phillies basketball. Phillies will break their huddle. Now the Bulldogs will. We're going to have our first substitution of the night for the Bulldogs is Brooklyn Brown. Will come in after next dead ball. Riley will throw it in. Bringing the ball down is Scott. Harrison County playing half-court defense now. Scott comes across, nearly loses a handle on it. Custer will come out to meet her. Gets away from Custer and then picked up by Williams. Scott looking to go inside. Gets it into Wilson. As Wilson looks to go in, she is fouled. Oh, no, they're going to call her for a travel. So the turnover will put back in Harrison County's hands. Scott will have a seat. Now Brooklyn Brown will officially come in the ball game. She wears the number 3. Phillies up 8-0. Custer brings it down. Left side, looking in is Farrell Law. Gets it back to Banks. Banks on the right side to Hicks. Hicks looks to goes to Custer. Custer, couple of dribbles. Looking to go inside. Harrison County moved the ball really, really well. Hicks puts it up, not able to make it fall. And out with the rebound is Audrey Wilson for the Bulldogs. She tries to go down the floor to Hill. Ball's knocked out of bounds off of Harrison County as Farrell Law gets a hand on it. Phillies trying to add to the lead and see if they can keep this shutout here in the first quarter as we went halfway through the first quarter. Trying to get the ball back in is Riley. Riley will get it in this time to Brown. Brown being picked up by Custer, looking to go to her left, continues to try to move. Moves around, loses a handle on it, and she got bailed out that time because she was about ready to lose it. So foul called against Custer. That's Keeley's first, and first against Harrison County. Taking it out under the basket will be Riley. Riley gets it up into Moore. Moore looks out front to Wilson. Wilson tries to battle her way down. She gets picked up quickly by Hicks and then turns the ball over as Custer looking to go right side. Tries to go to Farrell Law. She's intercepted by Jada Hill. Hill looking to go the other way. Wilson brings it down, puts it up, and will make it fall in. With the 0 off the board, Phillies up 8-2 is the first basket for the Bulldogs. Ball goes down to Wilson. She has to go and get it. Kicks it back out front to Farrell Law. Goes to Custer to reset her offense. Coming out to meet her is Hill, and Hill all over Custer. Looks to go inside. Ball tipped away, loose. Wilson comes out, gets tied up with Williams, and we got a foul in this one against the Bulldogs. More substitutions coming in the ball game will be Ryland Fair. Ryland Fair comes in for the Bulldogs as she comes in for Aubrey Wilson. Continue to try to move. Ball put up. Not able to make it fall. Bulldogs continue to try to move. Long three-pointer attempted by Riley. Wilson still continues to try to fight. She'll fling it back up, but she gets fouled again. And she'll be going to the line for two. And that one against Lauren Hicks, her first, team's third. Daly, the seventh grader, made her way in a few moments ago for Custard after Custard picked up that foul. And a free throw put up that time by Wilson. Marley Toe will make her first appearance of the night. She's a senior, averaging 0.0 points as she comes in for Williams. Second shot put up, not able to make it fall. Hicks out with the rebound. Looking down the floor to Daly. Daly, the seventh grader, continues to try to move. The ball gets intercepted. Coming down is Hill. Hill goes coast to coast, up and in for two. So the Bulldogs have cut it in half, 8-4. Timeout called by Harrison County. Another 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. 2:02 left in the first quarter of play. So Phillies up 8-0, and I said the Bulldogs the last couple of minutes after that timeout have been able to put a couple of baskets in. Well, they've been here for Farmers since 1916, and they're here for you right now. Talking about Farm Credit Mid-America. Contact Michael Furnish at 859-254-2741 to learn more and how they can help you. They're also great sponsors of our video coverage on our YouTube page as well as Facebook. We appreciate that. Jake Fowler on the camera tonight. We appreciate him. He does a good job. And then continue on, 8-4 score. Harrison County getting ready to throw the ball in. That's Kaylee Banks. Banks will get the ball thrown in. Daly coming down. Across the way, Farrell Law goes back to Banks, over to Daly. Daly back over to Farrell Law. Gets it over to Hicks. Hicks looks to go inside. She's stopped. Kicks it back out to Toe. Puts up a long shot, not able to make it fall, and out with the rebound will be the Bulldogs. Jada Hill, she'll give way to Brown. Brown now out front, looking to go left. Goes down the lane, fights her way in, puts up a wild-looking shot, but looks like she's going to get bailed out by another Harrison County foul. And I think that's on Hicks, and if it is, her second. And I was wrong. It was not. It was on Farrell Law. That'll be her first. Going to the line will be Brown. Her first trip there tonight. The Bulldogs are 0 for 2. Make them 0 for 3 as it does not fall in. Harrison County with more substitutions. Reese Heimlich. Heimlich, a senior, there's a number 10, looking for her first point of the season. Second one will fall in. That's the lead to 3 at 8-5. Keely Custard also checking back in for Harrison County. So Hicks, Custard, Toe, Daly, and Heimlich in. Heimlich on the right side, looking to go to Hicks. Hicks fights her way underneath. Gives it to Custard. Custard now on the left side, looking to go inside. Picks up her dribble, then just fires a shot. Not able to make it fall. Ball knocked around, and out with the rebound that time is Moore. Jada Moore looks to get the ball down to Brown. Brown looking to go coast to coast, 5 feet out, misses everything. Custard out with the rebound as we hit under a minute. Looking to the right side, Custard comes over. Continues to try to move. She gets picked up by a couple of defenders, looks to bring it back out and reset the offense at the top of the key. A couple of more dribbles. We'll take a glance at the clock and continue to try to make something happen here. Gives away to Daly. Daly picks up her dribble way out front. Gives it over to Hicks. Hicks now on the left wing, back out front to Daly. Daly to Hicks. It's about 10 feet out. Up, no good. Ball fought for, and out with the rebound that time is Fair. Fair looks to come down. She looks to go down the floor to Hill. Hill call for the travel with the turnover and ball back into Harrison County. 8-5 our score. Harrison County with the lead with about 29 seconds left. Like a good neighbor, Joe Cochran and his State Farm team there to help. Looking for a new quote? Give Joe a call. 859-234-3813. Proud supporters of Harrison County High School sports. Daly gets it over. Back out front. Looking to Custer. Custer look over the right side to Hicks. Hicks looking inside to Toll. Toll up and in for two. Her first basket of the ball game. Ball put back into Brown. Brown comes across the timeline. 5 seconds. Nearly loses her footing. Rolls the ball across. It's time to Hill. Hill long three-pointer put up and not able to make it fall. And that will be the first quarter. So at the end of the first quarter, Harrison County leading 10-5 over the Covington Holmes Bulldogs. We are going to step out. When we return, we'll have quarter number 2. You are listening, of course, to Harrison County Fillies basketball here on WCYN.
Kentucky Farm Bureau agents wear a lot of hats. They're coaches, volunteers, church members, neighbors, someone who's there when you need them, especially when you need them most. That may be a lot of hats, but they're all the perfect fit. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
At Farm Credit Mid-America, we're here to make rural dreams a reality. Whether it's financing your farm, expanding your agribusiness, or building your country homes, we've been proudly supporting farmers and rural families for over a century. As a customer-owned cooperative, we don't just offer loans and insurance, we invest in your success. Call Michael Furnish at 859-254-2741 or visit fcma.com today. Farm Credit Mid-America, financing rural America's dreams.
Back at the Hilltop as we get ready to start the second quarter. Harrison County started the game on an 8-0 run, and about halfway through, Coach Watkins and the Bulldogs took a timeout. They came out and ended up putting 5 points on the board. Harrison County with 2 points towards the end. Phillies taking the first quarter 10-5. It'll be Bulldog ball as we start the second quarter. Riley will throw it in. She'll get it into Brown. Brooklyn Brown comes across the timeline. Brown gives way to Hill. Hill looking back over across to Riley. Riley, a long three-pointer, hits off the backboard. No good. Out with the rebound that time is Risa Heimlich. Heimlich will give away to Keeley Custard. Custard will reset the offense. Daly, Toll, Heimlich, and Hicks out there for Harrison County right now. Custer out on the left wing. Gives way and bounce pass out front to Daly. She'll nearly lose a handle on it. Goes and retrieves the ball back to Heimlich. Heimlich looking to the right side to Custer. Custer looking to go baseline. She steps on the out-of-bounds lines, and with the turnover, it'll be Bulldog ball. 10-5 our score. Barely underway here in the second quarter. Bringing the ball down this time will be Brown. Brown gives way to Moore. Moore looks to go inside. As she does, she gets tangled up. Will lose a handle on it. It'll go out of bounds. They're going to call it off of Harrison County, so it'll be Bulldog ball. Carly Riley looks to throw it in. She'll get it in. It's time to Brooklyn Brown. Brown with a shot, not able to make it fall. Custard out with the rebound. Keeley looking to bring the ball down. Goes around their defender. Puts it up. Bulldogs gets a hand on it. Jade Moore does a nice job of clogging the lane up to stop the play. Ball ends up out of bounds. More substitutions for the Bulldogs as Audrey Wilson comes back in. And ball put back up into play. Also coming in is London Scott. Both of them getting starts tonight. Out with the rebound in Harrison County. They'll kick it back out front to Banks. Banks with a long three-pointer. No good. Ball fought for. Toe comes out. Gives it to Custard. Keeley up and in for her 6-point. Nice bit of work that time by Harrison County's defense. Continue to try to move. The ball put up a shot by Riley. No good. Ball knocked around. Custard out with the rebound. And time looked like Wilson coming up very slow. Custard comes down the lane. Gives away to Farrell Law in the right corner. Naomi goes up and not able to make it fall and is fouled as she puts up the shot. Should be heading to the free throw line, and the whistle is going to go against London Scott. That's her first. Naomi Farrell Law I'll head to the first free throw. First time Harrison County has sent anybody to the line tonight. Sophomore on the season, averaging 40% at the line. She's 4 for 10 and make her 4 for 11 if she misses the first one. More substitutions coming in for the Bulldogs as Brown comes in. Riley has a seat. Farrell Law tries to hit the second shot and not able to make it fall. Out with the rebound that time will be Wilson. Wilson gives way to London Scott. Scott loses a dribble. Is able to go and retrieve it. Custard will pick her up as she comes across the timeline. Looking down the right side. Goes around her defender, puts it up and in for her first basket of the ball game. Makes it 12-7. Over 70 years, Weber Sausage has delivered the best Kentucky flavor on your breakfast table. From the first sizzle to the last bite, it's a taste you can trust. Find them in your favorite meat department, Weber Sausage. Farrell Law, right side, gives way to Bank about 18 feet out. Bank's not able to make it fall. Hicks out with the rebound. Custard then goes to attack, and as she goes in, she's fouled before she gets to the basket. And that's going to be against Brooklyn Brown, and they're going to say she was in the middle of shooting. So put Keeley at the line, her first trip there tonight. She has 6 points, leading both clubs in scoring right now. Custard on the year. It's 13 for 17, 76% at the line. Perfect. 13-7. Hicks, Toll, Banks, Farrell Law, and Custard out there for the Fillies. Up and in. So she picks up her 8th point. Came in averaging 15 points on the year. Bringing the ball down is London Scott. Scott looking to attack. Puts up a wild-looking shot. And looks like she will run into Custard. Let's see if they get that too. That's Keeley's second. Scott, first trip to the line. Bulldogs 1 for 4 at the free throw strike. Make them 1 for 5. Daly in for Custard. Those 2 fouls. She will probably sit the majority of this third or second quarter. Your Cynthiana Hardee's wants you to visit them for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. US 27 South of Cynthiana. Up and in. Had a lunch out there earlier today. Nice folks out there. Back in, as we mentioned, will be Jayla Stevenson, our first look at Stevenson, wearing the number 1 for the Bulldogs. Banks gets it to Hicks. Hicks down the floor. He'll find Daly. Daly finds Toll underneath, up, not able to make it fall in. Farrell Law comes fighting for the rebound, gets it back out front to Banks, who launches a long three-pointer, but misses that. Daly out with the rebound. She steps on the line. Out of bounds, it'll go back to the Bulldogs. Phillies up 14-8. Remind you once again, our live YouTube broadcast being brought to you proudly by Kentucky Farm Bureau and Farm Credit Mid-America. London Scott bringing the ball down the floor on the right side. Picked up by Daly. Goes left, then goes right, then back left. And she's just stripped. She's standing there watching as Daly goes coast to coast, up and in for 2. Her first bucket of the ball game. So 16-8 as the Phillies double up the Bulldogs. Scott bringing the ball down the floor, looking to go inside. Gives way to Wilson. Wilson gets fouled, and that'll be against Marley Toll. Her first. Fouls adding up. Harrison County will go to their bench and brings in Elise Williams, the junior who got a start tonight. She will come off the bench. Also coming in for Harrison County. Missing somebody. That's ball put back into play. Scott, we'll find him in a moment. Scott looking to the right side. Wilson trying to come out to help her. Farrell Law comes to pick her up. Looking inside, back out front. Continues to pass. Ball knocked around. Williams looking to go underneath. It's a Moore. Moore has to go and retrieve the ball down in the left corner. Williams hanging right with her. Continues to try to move. Looking to go inside. Wild shot put up that time by Wilson. Not able to make it fall. And she's going to be bailed out that time. Actually, no. They're going to call that against Wilson. So it'll be the fourth against the Bulldogs. Harrison County with Hicks, Daly, Banks, Williams, and Farrell Law out there. Also coming in with our first look will be Brooke Mertz. Mertz wears the number 25 for the Bulldogs. So they're going with Mertz, Wilson, Scott. Also checking in, the first time is Carabelle Northcutt. Ball down the right side. Hicks looking to go inside, and Northcutt gets a hand on it as it goes out of bounds. Remains Harrison County ball. Moore also out there for the Bulldogs. Farrell Law tries to get it in. She'll do just that. Long three-pointer put up by Banks. Hits the side of the rim, not able to make it fall, and coming out with it will be Daly. Looking inside, ball tipped around. Williams will continue to move the ball around. Going into Banks. Banks gets in a little trouble, kicks it to Daly. Long three-pointer, and that will be buried, and that's the Joe Cochran State Farm three-pointer. 5 points for Daly now, and Fillies extending that lead as they go up 19-8. Our first Joe Cochran State Farm three-pointer of the ball game. Stay tuned. We'll have a State Farm Joe Cochran State Farm halftime report. Daly strips the ball, comes down, puts it up, no good. Rebound, and up and in for two is Banks. Her first bucket of the ball game, 21-8. 3:15 left to play here in the first half. Timeout called by the Bulldogs. Their second timeout of the ball game. Full timeout, so we'll take it with them. Your situation, 3:15 left in the first half. Harrison County has led the entire night, and they lead right now 21-8 over the Covington Holmes Bulldogs. You're listening, of course, to Harrison County Fillies basketball, being brought to you tonight on a YouTube page by Kentucky Farm Bureau and by Farm Credit in Mid-America. We'll return right after this timeout.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in small-town values.
And Mom and Dad and the things they handed down.
I believe some of the best people in the world are farmers.
I believe in insurance that protects families, homes, and cars. I believe in always finding a way to do what you love. I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
At Farm Credit Mid-America, we're here to make rural dreams a reality. Whether it's financing your farm, expanding your agribusiness, or building your country homes, we've been proudly supporting farmers and rural families for over a century. As a customer-owned cooperative, we don't just offer loans and insurance, we invest in your success. Call Michael Furnish at 859-254-27.
Back here at the Hilltop as we continue on in the second quarter. Bringing the ball down. There's London Scott. Scott puts up a shot about 16 feet out. Phillies get a hand on the ball loose. Player knocks around and continues. And looks like coming to his Mertz. And Mertz gets tangled up. Ball ends up out of bounds off of Holmes. It'll be Harrison County ball. Just a tick under the 3 minute. As I said, we'll remind you at halftime we'll have the Joe Cochran State Farm halftime report. We'll take a look at the scoring and get you ready for the way the schedule looks for the next couple of weeks. Ball put around into play. Banks with it on the left side. Looking to attack. She'll give way to Hicks, who goes to Daly, to Farrell Law. Shot put up inside by Williams. She is surrounded by about 3 red jerseys as she goes up again. And just like you want to do if you're a big man, you want to go up with all of them in there and let them do what they do. And it's exactly what we have happened. We had another foul call against the Bulldogs. Let's put Williams at the line. Her first trip there tonight. She has 2 points overall. That band bounces everywhere but in. She'll have another. Back in the ball game will be Jada Hill. Hill coming in from Mertz. Mertz picking that foul up to put Williams at the line. 21-8. Phillies will lead the entire night. It's in front of the rim, no good. Ball, long rebound. Hicks goes and gets it, saves it from going out. Ball loose, rolls around, and out with it's London Scott. Scott comes flying down the floor. She is surrounded by white jerseys, puts up a wild-looking shot, and now with the rebounds, Daly. Daly feeds Hicks. Hicks could not catch up with it, and she was about a foot behind it. The ball ends up out of bounds, and just like that, turnover goes back to the Bulldogs. Harrison County will bring Emma Wadlow in, the senior. for Hicks. And coming in will be Carly Riley along with Brooklyn Brown for the Bulldogs. Ball thrown in that time. Hill gets it to Scott. Scott brings it across the timeline. Picked up by Daly. Looking to the left side. Scott goes over. She'll give away to Williams. Shot put up about 10 feet out. Up and in for two. Actually, that's Moore. Jaden Moore's first basket. 21-11. Phillies up by 11 as we hit the 2-minute mark. Wadlow goes in and nearly gets called for a travel. The official kind of let her get away with it that time. Ball put around. Back to Wadlow on the right side. Farrell Law goes baseline. Puts it up and buries it in as it crawls across the bucket. 23-10. Scott slowly comes down. Back to Moore. Being picked up. She'll go between the defenders. Puts up a shot. Front of the rim. No good. Out with the rebound. That time is Williams. Harrison County on the run. Banks gives way to Daly. Long three-pointer put up. It's a side of the rim. No good. Out with the rebound. That time Williams goes up. Rolls on in there. Nice play. Her fourth point of the ball game. Phillies up by 15 at 25-10. Bringing the ball down the floor is Scott. At Elka Prickett's daily lunch specials. At Always Popular Buffet. Calling your name today. Plan to make a visit to the Harrison Square Shopping Center. Elka Prickett's. Great Mexican food out there. Nice folks. 1:08 left to play in the first half. And just like that, Daly lost her shoe. So Hicks will come in to replace Daly for probably the final minute or so. Scott gets it in. She'll get it to Brown. Brown comes across the timeline, picked up by Hicks. Looking to the left side, picks up, tries to go up with it. Nice play, defensive play by Williams. Ball gets into Banks. Banks looks to feed Wadlow. Wadlow not quite ready for it. It goes out of bounds, and yet another turnover. Ball put back into the Bulldogs' hands. 55 seconds left. Ball put into play. Brown brings it down. Harrison County now back in their zone defense. Brown, top of the key, picks up her dribble, looks to the right side. Farrell Law gets a hand on it, knocks it out of bounds, so it'll remain Bulldog ball with 49 seconds. Back into play. Long three-pointer put up that time from the left wing by Hill. Out with the rebounds, Naomi Farrell Law. She looks to run, gives way to Banks. Banks comes down. Banks feeds Wadlow. Foot on the three-point arc. She'll put it up and in for two. And official making sure the nets are down where they need to be, so they'll get everything situated. 27-10, 24 seconds left. Brown brings the ball across the timeline. Left side is where she will find Hill. Hill gives it back away, this time to Riley. Riley looking back over to the left wing, Brown. 10 seconds. Brown back out front to Moore. Moore, a long three-pointer from the left wing. Goes everywhere but down as it falls back out. Out with the rebound that time is Hicks. Hicks will throw it away, and that will be the way the first half will come to an end. Harrison County does a nice job as they lead 27-10 over the Covington Holmes Bulldogs here at halftime. We're going to step out. When we return, we'll take a look how the numbers break down. We'll get you ready for the rest of the schedule for the week and a lot more here from the Hilltop. Phillies have led the entire ball game, 27-10 our score, as we head to halftime as they lead the Covington Home Bulldogs. You're listening, of course, to Harrison County Phillies basketball here on WCYN, being brought to you tonight by the Kentucky Farm Bureau and Farm Credit Mid-America.
Congratulations. You're officially an agent.
Sweet. I get one of those cool agent names, right? Like Viper or Shadow?
Well, Wayne, we're thinking you go by Wayne?
Oh, yeah. Wayne's fine, too.
With Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, there's an agent in every county who's involved in the community, which means you'll know your agent by name. In this case, Wayne.
I got it. What about 006?
Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment.
At Farm Credit Mid-America, we're here to make rural dreams a reality. Whether it's financing your farm, expanding your agribusiness, or building your country home, Holmes, we've been proudly supporting farmers and rural families for over a century. As a customer-owned cooperative, we don't just offer loans and insurance, we invest in your success. Call Michael Furnish at 859-254-2741 or visit fcma.com today. Farm Credit Mid-America, financing rural America's dreams.
Well, back at the Hilltop as we began, of course, the State Farm, Joe Cochran State Farm halftime report for all any insurance needs. Talked to Joe Cochran and his State Farm team, hopefully feeling better. I know he was a little under the weather last week, and hopefully they're feeling better down there as well. But they'll take good care of you as well. For any questions you have, 859-234-3813. Joe Cochran and his State Farm team. Well, the Phillies came out, took an 8-0 lead. We saw Holmes could break that down to where they made it 8-5, but since then it's been all Harrison County's offense as they lead here at the half, 27-10 over the Holmes Bulldogs. Let's take a look at as far as individual numbers go for the Bulldogs. They are led in scoring by London Scott. Scott with 3 points. She's 1 for 2 at the free throw line, all coming in the second quarter to help count for her 3 points. Jaden Hill had a couple of points coming off the bench tonight for the Bulldogs. Jade Moore has 2 points as well, that coming in the second quarter. Audrey Wilson has 2 points, that coming in the first. She goes 0 for 2 at the free throw line. And then Brooklyn Brown is 1 for 2 at the line, counting for her 1 point on the evening. That's how they scored their 10 points. As far as Harrison County goes, as we mentioned, they would lead the way with 27. Keely Custard, who has spent a lot of time on the bench with 2 fouls, she leads the way with 8 points. She is 2 for 2 at the free throw stripe right now. Daly, the 7th grader, coming off the bench with 5 points. She has 1 3-pointer and 2 points from the field to count for her 5 points here this evening. Also, as we take a look at other scoring, Kaylee Banks with 2 points on the night as well. Naomi Farrell-Law has 2 points. She's 0 for 2 at the free throw stripe to count for her 2 points. Lauren Hicks with 2 points on the night as well. Marley Toll with 2 points coming in the first quarter. Emma Wadlow off the bench, scoring a couple of points, 2 points in the second quarter. And Elise Williams has 4 points. She's 0 for 2 at the free throw line, but has 4 points overall. So that is the way the individual numbers look as far as the scoring goes for Harrison County. Foul situation looking like this for the Bulldogs: London Scott, Jade Moore, Audrey Wilson, Brooklyn Brown, and Brooke Mertz, all with a foul apiece. Harrison County has 1 player with 2, that being Keely Custard. Naomi Farrell-Law with 1, Lauren Hicks with 1, and Marley Toe with 1 foul as well. That is the way the individual numbers look here in the first half of play. Harrison County taking the first quarter 10-5. They then took the second quarter 17-5, which makes us 27-10 here at the halftime. As we said, being brought to you by Joe Cochran and his State Farm team. Of course, right there on Main Street. Some nice folks. We'll take good care of you as well. We appreciate you spending a little bit of your time with us here on our YouTube or our Facebook page. As we said, being brought to you tonight by Kentucky Farm Bureau and Farm Credit Mid-America. And as we mentioned, we'll have all the home games this year for both the Breds and the Fillies right here on our YouTube page as well. Breds are on the road tonight. They're made their way to Fleming County and do not have a scoring update about that. So hopefully they are being successful tonight as well. As we continue here tonight. So as far as the Breds go, I'll tell you what, let's take a timeout. When we return, we'll take a look and see how the schedules look over the next week or so for both the Breds, the Fillies, and the Bulldogs. 27-10 our halftime score. You're listening, of course, to the Joe Cochran State Farm Halftime Report here on WCYN.
Kentucky Farm Bureau agents wear a lot of hats. They're coaches, volunteers, church members, neighbors, someone who's there when you need them, especially when you need them most. That may be a lot of hats, but they're all the perfect fit. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
At Farm Credit Mid-America, we're here to make rural dreams a reality. Whether it's financing your farm, expanding your agribusiness, or building your country homes, we've been proudly supporting farmers and rural families for over a century. As a customer-owned cooperative, we don't just offer loans and insurance, we invest in your success. Call Michael Furnish at 859-254-2741 or visit fcma.com today. Farm Credit Mid-America, financing rural America's dreams.
Back here at the Hilltop as we get ready for the second half in just a matter of moments. Let's take a look at the schedules for the Harrison County Thoroughbreds. So we mentioned the Breds on the road tonight up at Fleming County. They will be back in action next Monday, so they've got a few days off. As they'll be making their way to Augusta to take on the Panthers. Game time is a little bit earlier, 6 o'clock. We'll have that on the radio side of things Monday night. Next Tuesday night, the Breds return here to the Hilltop as they welcome in Bluegrass United out of Lexington. That's a 7:30 tip-off. Friday night, next Friday, the 19th, they'll be at Calvary Christian. So that is the way the Breds' schedule looks over the next week or so. As far as this Bulldog Ball Club, as after tonight, they finally get to go home. They've been on the road the entire season so far, as they'll be welcoming Villa Madonna on Thursday night. It's a 7:30 tip-off. Then next Monday, they'll be playing Taft out of Cincinnati. That's at Taft at 12 o'clock. That can't be right. It's 12:01 a.m. That's midnight. I don't think they're going to play basketball at midnight. So anyway, they're scheduled to play Taft on the 15th. On the 19th, they are supposed to be playing at Beechwood. And that's all they've got for the rest of the month. So anyway, that's what their schedule looks like. As far as this Philly Ball Club goes, they will be in action, as we mentioned, this coming Friday night as they open up the 2A Section 5 tournament here at the Hilltop. They'll welcome in Lexington Catholic. That's a 6:30 scheduled start. I'm assuming maybe a doubleheader that night. Usually with the opening round, there's two, but that's the only game I've got scheduled right now. Lexington Catholic and Harrison County at 6:30. We'll have all that action here on the YouTube as well as on the radio side of things. Saturday, they make their way to Beechwood. That's a afternoon affair around 1:30. Next Tuesday, they're on the road at Fleming County. And then next Saturday, part of the Bath County tournament, where they'll play Paintsville, and then follow that playing Bell County. And then a rare Sunday game on the 21st against Bath County. We'll have majority of those games here on WCYN. Well, 27-10, this will wrap up the Joe Cochran State Halftime Report. We thank you, Joe and his team, for allowing us to be with you as a part of that. We get ready to start the third quarter in just a matter of moments. As we said, the Phillies have led the entire way, looking for their first win on the year. And see if they can continue to lead as they have a 17-point lead as we get ready to start the second half of action. We'll remind you, stay with us. Following the game, we'll take a look at individual numbers. We'll hopefully be joined by Coach Watson, if he can find us. I know normally they're not up in the press box, but we talked with him a little bit earlier, and so hopefully he'll be up in a little during the post-game report. We'll also name the Judy Construction Player of the Ball Game. All that coming up later tonight, but we got still a half to play before we get to that. Harrison County finishing their wrap-ups. Holmes Bulldogs making their way to Coach Watkins to get the final instructions. We'll remind you to join, as we mentioned, Friday night basketball. Saturday, Let's Talk Sports. Coaches Roundtable Saturday morning as well. We'll hear from Coach Case as well as Coach Watkins. Getting very quiet as we get ready to start the third quarter. 27-10. And it'll be London Scott. She will be joined out there by Carly Riley, Audrey Wilson, Jade Moore, and the final member of that group is Jada Hill. So that'll be back to their starting lineup. Harrison County with Keely Custard. She is joined by Lauren Hicks, Naomi Farrell Law. Also out there is Kaylee Banks and Elise Williams. So their starting lineup for both ball clubs making the start of the second half. London Scott being picked up by Custard. Phillies come out man-to-man. Scott looks to go down and gets bailed out with a travel. That was questionable at best, and Custard just picked up her third. Coach Watkins going to let her out. She said a lot of that second quarter. Leave her out there. Riley gets ready to throw it in. Continues to try, and we'll get it in. Inside to Moore. Moore looks to fight her way in, puts it up and in for two. Her 4th point overall. Cuts the lead 27-12. Custard. Bulldogs will come back man-to-man full court. Start the second half. Banks tries to dribble inside, brings it back to the top of the key, gives way to Farrell Law. Back out to Banks. Banks looking to set up the offense, looking to go left. Continues to stand out front, dribbling. Looks to her right, gives way to Farrell Law, back to Banks. Banks to Custard. Keela looking inside to Farrell Law. Nice little alley-oop, up and in for two. Nice play by Harrison County. 29-12 as we hit the 7-minute mark, barely underway here in the third quarter. Bringing the ball down to Scott. Scott looking to the right side. Gives way to Riley. Riley gives it to Moore. Hits Moore in the face as he goes out of bounds. Daly back in for Custer. Custer will sit with those 3 fouls. Hicks will throw it in. Actually makes that Banks throwing it in. She'll get it to Daly. Daly had a nice first half. Banks over to the right side, back out front to Daly, looking inside. Gives way to Farrell Law, who attacks, not able to make it fall. Out with the rebound is Williams. Williams is fouled as she goes up. Cannot get the shot to fall, and the foul is going to be whistled against Wilson, her second. So put Williams at the line. She's 0 for 2 there tonight. Has 4 points overall. She'll have a couple of shots here. Bounces everywhere but in. Not able to make it fall. She'll have another. Trying to get to 30 here if she can make this fall. Couple of dribbles. And bounces on in there. Picks up her 5th point. Makes it 30-12. Well, do you have a big group to feed or are you just hungry? Snappy Tomato Pizza. They'll take good care of you down there. They can help you out with the beast pizza, the salad, the sandwiches, chicken. They have all kinds of good stuff. A Snappy Tomato Pizza. 2-3-5. Snap. Ball goes down the other end. Daly will retrieve it. Gives way to Farrell Law, who attacks the basket. Not able to make it fall. Williams comes down with it, goes back up, and as she does, she is fouled. And that one is against Riley. Her first. Team second of the half. And Williams, who is 1 for 4 there, will have another trip to the free throw line. Was there just a few moments ago to hit her first free throw. Up and in. Nice play. 6 points for Williams. She'll have another shot. Trying to get Phillies up by 20 as they lead by 19 at the moment. Second one, not able to make it fall. Hicks out with the rebound. Gives way to Farrell Law. Farrell Law up and in for her 6 point. Timeout call by Coach Watkins and the Bulldogs. And guys, out. 30-second timeout, so we will keep it right here. 33-12 our score. Phillies up by 21. 6:11 left here in the third quarter. They've been here for Farmers since 1916, and they're here for you right now. Farm Credit Mid-America. For more information, you can contact Michael Furnish at 859-254-2741 and learn more how Michael Furnish and his team can help you out. Also, they are along with Chad Eversol's team out at Kentucky Farm Bureau, bringing us our YouTube page all season long here on WCYN. We appreciate both Farm Bureau and Farm Credit Mid-America. 33-12. As Bulldogs will be the first to break huddle. Harrison County will be about ready to. 33-12 our score. Phillies leading here in this, not quite 2 minutes into this quarter, and already leading 6-2 as far as quarter scoring goes. Lyndon Scott. Scott bringing the ball down on the left side. She'll lose a dribble, but goes and retrieves it. Looking to go inside. She'll throw the ball away, and coming up with it's Hicks. Hicks gets tangled up by a couple of Bulldogs, and possession belongs to Harrison County, so the Phillies will hold on to it. 33-12. Farrell Law will get it in front of the Bulldog bench. She'll throw it to Daly. Holmes continues in their full court man-to-man defense. Scott will pick up Daly. She goes inside, and as she goes up, she gets tangled up with Scott, and the possession arrow with the turnover belongs to the Bulldogs. So the Holmes will take it out into the Harrison County's basket. 33-12, 5:49 left here in the third. Bringing the ball down, Scott. Scott looking to the right side, looking to give away to Wilson. Wilson tries to attack, ball stripped. Coming out with it this time is Hicks. Hicks comes down, will pick up a dribble and hands to Farrell Law out front. Left side, she telegraphed it. Coming in with it is Scott. She'll go coast to coast, up and in for her 5th point. 33-14. Back to a 19-point lead. Banks looking to go inside. Gives way to Hicks. Hicks puts up a wild-looking shot. Not able to make it fall. Ball loose. Out with it's Daly. Daly attacks it. She goes baseline. Not able to make it fall. Hicks rebound. Back to Daly. Daly to Banks. Banks out on the right wing. Looking to go down the lane. Pings it up. No good. Ball loose. Daly goes out front to get it. Daly. Combo dribbles. Coming out to meet her is Scott around the half-court line. Gives way this time to Banks. Banks looks inside to Williams. Williams tries to attack. She'll go up. Gets fouled as she goes up. Cannot get it to fall through. And I think it's against Wilson, and it will be. That'll be Wilson's third. She becomes the first player for the Bulldogs with 3. Puts Williams back at the line. She is 2 for 6 there tonight. Has 6 points overall. 2 for 4, though, here in the half. As it becomes very quiet for her to shoot her free throws. Up and in. She'll have another. Brown in for Wilson. She'll have another shot here. 34-14. Phillies back up by 20. Up and in. Riley throws it in. She'll get it to Scott. Scott bringing the ball down. Looking to the left side. Continues to try to move the ball around. She is just stripped by Daly. Daly has done that about 3 times a night. Goes up and in for 2. 7 points for the 7th grader. For over 70 years, Weber Sausage has delivered the best Kentucky flavor to your breakfast table. From first sizzle to last bite, it's a taste you can trust. That's Weber's Sausage. Shot put up that time, and that's by Paris Gray. I miss Gray going in. Gray's not able to make it fall, and we have a foul against the Phillies. It's Farrell Law's second. Gray will go to the line. She'll have a couple. Her first trip there tonight. Bulldogs 2 for 6 at the line. It's in front of the rim. She'll have another. Risa Heimlich back in for Kaylee Banks. Bulldogs also going to the bench. Our first look at Anna Stevens. Stevens in for Scott. So Coach Watkins getting a lot of her kids in tonight. Ball rolls everywhere and comes off the rim. And out with the rebound is Hicks. She'll throw it away. Ball loose. Rolls around. They're going to call it out on Hill. So it will remain Harrison County ball. Heimlich will take it out. Gets it to Daly. Daly brings the ball down on the left side. Quickly picked up by Stevens. Goes into Williams. Williams is triple teamed. And do we call a foul or a tie-up? Called tie-up. Possession belongs to Harrison County. The Phillies will take it out into their own basket. That will be Naomi Farrell Law throwing it in. She'll get it in to Daly. Daly about 10 feet out. Goes in the lane, up and in for 2. Her 9th point of the ball game. She now leads the Phillies in scoring. Bringing the ball down is Brown. She'll about 10 feet out. Puts up a wild-looking shot. Williams out with the rebound. And she'll get it down the floor to Farrell Law. Farrell Law looks down the floor, picks up her dribble out front, gives way to Daly. Daly around the free throw stripe. 3:30 left here in the third quarter. Long three-pointer put up from the right corner by Heimlich. Cannot get it to fall. Out with the rebound that time is Riley. Riley will give away to Hill. Hill comes down, and we got a whistle. And it's Farrell Law's third. Harrison County will go to their bench, and coming back in for the Fillies will be Marley Toll. And also coming in for Harrison County will be May Heimlich. Heimlich, a sophomore, averaging 2 points. Shot put up, no good. Bulldogs out with their own rebound. Brown tries to go in. She is surrounded by white jerseys and then throws the ball away. After being volleyed around, Daly goes coast to coast. Up, not able to make it fall. Out with the rebound was Heimlich. Ball knocked out of her hands and out of bounds it'll go. Harrison County will remain control. Heimlich trying to get the ball into play. Risa. Well, both Heimlichs out there now. Back into Toe. Toe is stripped that time by Hill. Hill looking to go coast to coast. Goes up and in for two and is fouled as she gets it to fall through. So nice play that time by Hill. She'll go to the line looking for the three-point play. Heimlich will pick up her first. That's May Heimlich. Hill has 4 points overall. 39-16 her score. 2:48 left here in the third quarter. Like a good neighbor, Joe Cochran and the State Farm team is there to help you. Up and not able to make it fall. Give Joe and his team a call for any insurance needs you have. 859-234-3813. Phillies out with the rebound. Daly looking to come down, closely being guarded by Brown. Brown on the right side. Continuing to be close by Brown, trying to get away from her. Goes in and gets triple teamed and gets fouled on her way in. They're going to whistle that one on Brown, and that's her second. Daly will go to the line. She'll have 2 shots, as they say she was shooting. They ought to be getting close to the bonus. 39-16. Couple of dribbles and not able to make it fall. Well, in the season, Daly 2 for 4. Goes out, not able to make it fall. Ball fought for. Heimlich gets tangled up with Gray. Possession will belong to the Bulldogs, so they'll take over. 39-16. 2:31 left here in the ball game in the third quarter. Bringing the ball down is Brown. Brown picks up her dribble, goes to Gray, and Gray falls down, and the official that didn't really have a great angle on it calls the foul against Marley Toll. The one that was out front that maybe had a little better angle didn't say anything. But they had a better view than I do. Gray will go to the line. She's 0 for 2 there tonight. Couple of dribbles up and in. (39-17), back to a 22-point lead. Up and in. So Gray now 2 for 4 at the stripe. Risa Heimlich back into Daly. Daly bringing the ball down the floor. Looking to the right side. Couple of dribbles, continues to move the ball around. Long three-pointer and hits the front of the rim. That's May Heimlich. Back to Risa Heimlich. Not able to make it fall. Gets her own rebound. Back up. No. Ball fought for and out with the rebound. That time is Carly Riley. Riley loses a dribble handle on it, but retrieves it, goes up, and is called for the travel. 39-18, under 2 minutes. Fillies will take it out under the Bulldog basket. Back in the game will be Jade Moore. Moore back in for Stevens. Hicks will get the ball down to the left side, looking inside to Risa Heimlich, who puts it up no good. May Heimlich, her sister, gets it up, no good. Risa comes out fighting for it. She'll get the ball, she'll put it back up, and then is stripped that time by Gray. Gray gets it under the hands of Hill. Bulldogs wanting to run. Runs right around Hicks, puts it up no good, and we got more fouls underneath. It's against Riley. Camille Hadfield, the senior, about ready to come in for Harrison County. As we walk to the other end, I said they were close to the bonus, and that puts them in the bonus. So Hicks will go to the line for 1-1. Misses her first. Actually, she's makes her 0 for 2. Hadfield will come in for Toll. So Hicks will go for 2 at the strike. And Ryland Fair will come back in for the Bulldogs. Timeout call by Coach Watkins in Harrison County. Full timeout, so we'll take it with them. 39-18. Phillies are leading the way right now in the third quarter. Minute 29 left to play. Our YouTube broadcast tonight being brought to you, of course, by Kentucky Farm Bureau and Farm Credit of Mid-America. We'll return here from the Hilltop. You're listening to Harrison County Phillies basketball on WCYN.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in small-town values.
And Mom and Dad and the things they handed down.
I believe some of the best people in the world are farmers.
I believe in insurance that protects families, homes, and cars. I believe in always finding a way to do what you love. I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
At Farm Credit Mid-America, we're here to make rural dreams a reality. Whether it's financing your farm, expanding your agribusiness, or building your country homes, we've been proudly supporting farmers and rural families for over a century. As a customer-owned cooperative, we don't just offer loans and insurance, we invest in your success. Call Michael Furnish at 859-254-2741 or visit fcma.com today. Farm
Back here at the Hilltop, putting up at the shot is Heimlich. Or that's not Heimlich. That's Hadfield putting it up, not able to make it fall in, and we got another foul. And a whistle against May Heimlich. That's her second for Harrison County, and that's going to put the Bulldogs at the free throw stripe. So we'll walk to the other end. And the way the foul situation has been here in the third quarter, the fourth quarter may go for quite a while tonight. Going to the line will be Aubrey Wilson. Wilson is 0 for 2 at the line. Bounces on in there. Our third point overall. She'll have another. Lauren Hicks will have a seat as Kaylee Banks comes back in for Harrison County. 39-19, back to a 20-point lead. Phillies have led by as much as 25. Not able to make it fall. May Heimlich out with the rebound. Oh, across the way. Banks way down the floor. Gets intercepted that time by Gray. Gray nearly loses a handle on it and is able to get to Scott. Scott brings the ball down on the right side. Looking to go inside and loses her footing and flings it up and gets fouled. The 108 mark. And that will be a foul against Hadfield. That's her first. Going to the line is London Scott. Scott will go there for 2. She's 1 for 2 at the line. That's 5 points overall. And gets ready, and we'll put it in. So it gets back to 19 as far as the lead goes. She'll have another. Not able to make it fall. Gray tries to come out with it. Ball will be fair coming out. Shot put up, no good. Wilson saves it from going out, but he gets into Heimlich's hands, who gets it back across the way. Continue to try to move. Going with it is Heimlich. Heimlich gets it to Risa Heimlich, who puts it up. May Heimlich gets a rebound, up and in for 2. Her first bucket of the night. 41-20, 40 seconds. Scott looking to go right, brings the ball down, and as she does, she gets fouled. That's against Daly of Harrison County, her first. And that will put Scott at the line. She is 2 for 4 there tonight. And 6 points overall. Couple Couple of dribbles and up and in. She'll have another. Back to a 20-point lead, 41-21. 33 seconds left here in the third quarter. Up and no. Out with the rebound will be May Heimlich. Gets it to Banks. Banks nearly walked. Gets it back to Heimlich, back to Banks. Banks brings it down around the stripe. Gives way to Hadfield. She'll find Risa Heimlich. It's a long three-pointer, and that's a Joe Cochran State Farm three-pointer. Risa Heimlich, her first bucket of the night, makes it 44-21. Looking back inside, Wilson tries to fight her way up. Throws the ball up. It hits the backboard, goes out of bounds. Ball back to Harrison County with 7.6 seconds left. 44-21. Ball into Banks. Banks to Daly. Daly looking to run. Scott trailing her. Continues to go in. Loses the footing on it. Ball loose. Scott out with it. She'll fling it down the floor as the buzzer goes off. Well, we have played 3. Harrison County 44. Holmes 21. You are listening, of course, to Harrison County Fillies basketball being brought to you by Kentucky Farm Bureau and Farm Credit Mid-America here on WCYN.
Congratulations. You're officially an agent.
Sweet. I get one of those cool agent names, right? Like Viper or Shadow?
Well, Wayne, we're thinking you go by Wayne?
Oh, yeah. Wayne's fine, too.
With Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance, there's an agent in every county who's involved in the community, which means you'll know your agent by name. In this case, Wayne.
I got it. What about 006?
Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment.
At Farm Credit Mid-America, we're here to make rural dreams a reality. Whether it's financing your farm, expanding your agribusiness, or building your country homes, we've been proudly supporting farmers and rural families for over a century. As a customer-owned cooperative, we don't just offer loans and insurance, we invest in your success. Call Michael Furnish at 859-254-2741 or visit fcma.com today. Farm Credit Mid-America, financing rural America's dreams.
Well, back to the hilltop as we get ready for the fourth quarter. Phillies have led the entire way and lead 44-21 over the Lady Bulldogs of Holmes. Instead of being brought to you here on the YouTube by Kentucky Farm Bureau and Farm Credit Mid-America. They've been here for farmers since 1916. They're here for you right this very moment. It's Farm Credit Mid-America. Contact Michael Furnish, 859-254-2741 to learn more. Well, as the ball gets into play by Harrison County, they'll throw it away. So with the turnover barely underway here in the fourth quarter, we'll go back to the Bulldogs. That quarter saw Harrison County outscore Holmes 17-11. Ball put back into play. Brown looking, gives way to Gray. Gray up, no good. Out with the rebound is Banks. Banks down the floor to Wedlow, who goes up and is fouled on the way to the basket. I think that's against Gray, but let's double check, and it will be. That'll be her first. Puts Wedlow at the line. Yeah, she has 2 points overall tonight, the first trip to the line. Wedlow, Banks, Keeley Custard back out there, Hadfield also, and they are joined by May Heimlich. Shot up and perfect. Nice play. Wedlow on the season is, with that free throw, makes her 2 for 3. Hits the side of the rim, no good. Gray out with the rebound, 45-21. Other end we go. Scott goes around. Banks up, no good. Out with the rebound that time is May Heimlich. Heimlich gives way to Keeley Custard. Custard running base sidelines. Gets it down the floor. Banks, long three-pointer, and that's a Joe Cochran State Farm three-pointer. Banks first three of the ball game. Third overall by Harrison County. Her 5th point. Phillies up. 48-21. Custer will take it away. Keeley, who has set the majority of the game with 3 fouls, goes coast to coast up and in for her 10th point. 50-21. Clock continuing to tick. Other end we go. Scott goes up, not able to make it fall. Ball loose. Rowe coming out with a long rebound is Heimlich. She gets double teamed. Call for dragging her foot with the travel. Ball goes back in the hands of the Bulldogs. Harrison County bringing in Nia Marks. Marks with 0.7 points. Wears number 31. Our first look at her tonight, and also Daly back in. Ball put into play as Daly gets a hand on it, knocks it out of bounds. Wilson trying to get it in to Scott. Ball back in. Shot put up that time by Destiny Rudolph. Rudolph comes in. Scott gets the rebound, puts it up and in for the basket. Makes it 50-23. Other end we go. Banks brings it down, gives way to Daly. Daly gets hammered as she goes up. And whistle against the Bulldogs. Taking it out will be Marks. Gets it inside to Banks, who's left alone, puts it up and in for two. 7 points now for Kaylee Banks. Other end we go. Scott brings the ball down, gets away from her defender, gives way this time to Jalen Stevenson. Stevenson throws the ball away. Wudlow goes coast to coast, puts it up and in for two. Her 5th point overall. Good night for Harrison County offensively. For a club that has had some scoring problems this season, they have been able to put it together here against the Bulldogs. Very balanced attack, especially with their leader out of foul trouble. Wudlow intercepts, goes to coast, and as she does, she'll lose a handle on it and goes down hard and is still down. Not sure exactly what happened there, but she is still down in the baseline, and Coach Watson, as well as the trainer, will quickly go over to talk with her. 54-23, 5:35 left to play here in the ball game. Harrison County has led the entire way. Lead right now by 31. The coach is coming over to help Emma get up as well, and as they continue to talk with her. Everyone else going back to the benches. Hopefully, Emma's okay. Cynthiana's Hardee's wants you to visit them for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Went out there for lunch today. US 27 South, Cynthiana, best burgers in town. Your Cynthiana Hardee's. I'll help Emma up as she holds her right foot gingerly and help her get off the floor and get over to the trainer table. Coming in to replace her will be Hadfield, Carmelo Hadfield. Emma's had a good game tonight. You hate to see that happen anytime. So Marks, Hadfield, Daly, May Heimlich, along with Kaylee Bradford. Bradford, a freshman, will also check in during the dead ball. 54-23, 5:34 left to play. Stevenson brings the ball down, gets it across the timeline, picked up by Daly, also picked up by Bradford. Harris County's went back to their zone defense. Looking to go over to the left side, nearly throws the ball away. Going and retrieving it this time will be Stevens. Stevens gives way to Gray. Gray out on the left corner. Heimlich gets a hand on it, then takes it away and loses a handle as it goes out of bounds. Ball will remain in the Bulldog hands. 54-23. Holmes will get it back into play. Stevenson will try to go to Gray. Marks gets a hand on it. Gets it back to Bradford. Bradford looks to attack, puts it up in the lane. Marks with the rebound, up and in for two. Junior with the points, makes it 56-23. Stevenson brings the ball down the floor, gets it across the timeline. Over to the left side. Stevens tries to attack, back to Stevenson. They'll give a ball passed around. Shot put up, no good. And May Heimlich gets a hand on it as it goes out of bounds. Back in the ball game, Brooklyn Brown. More substitutions. Naira Espy will come in. So I think we've seen pretty much everybody for both ball clubs. 56-23. Ball put back into play. Move the ball around this time will be Brown. Long shot put up by Brown. Misses everything. May Heimlich saves it from going out. And she steps on the line. It's the third time tonight Phillies offense have stepped on that out-of-bounds line to turn the ball over. This time Heimlich may have had a little help as she was surrounded by a couple of Bulldogs. Ball put back into play. Shot put up. Not able to make it fall. Holmes out with the rebound. With the rebound, shot put up. Stevenson not able to make it fall. Out with the rebound. This time will be Stevens. Stevens. Give away. Back out front. This time to Brown. Brown look on the right wing. Looks to attack. Goes up and cannot get it to fall. Stevens will come out with the rebounds. Goes back to Brown as we go under 4. Shot put up and in for 2. That time by Brown. Her first field goal. 3rd point of the ball game for her. Timeout call by Harrison County. We'll see if it's a full or a 30, and it will be a 30, so we'll keep it here. 56-25, Phillies up, led the majority of the night. They're back in action on Friday night, weather permitting. We're talking a little bit of snow on Thursday, so hopefully it will miss it and be able to play as they play Lexington Catholic. It's a 6:30 game, so a little bit early, as they open up the Section 5 2A tournament on Friday night. And they're making their way to Beechwood for an afternoon affair on Saturday. Daly, Bradford, Marks, Hadfield, and Heimlich. May Heimlich out there for Harrison County. Daly will receive the ball. With 3:45 left to play. Phillies up by 31. Long three-pointer put up by Bradford. Hits the front of the rim. Daly rebound up and no. It's the front of the rim again. Out with the rebound that time will be Espy. Espy to Brown. Brown loses a handle on it as she gets tangled up with Marks. Marks called for the foul. That'll put Brown at the line. She is 1 for 2 there. That's 3 points overall. Up and in. In for Harrison County. Second shot up and in. Ball put back into play. It's the Phillies. I'm going to look to eat some clock now at 3:19. Being passed around. That's Bradford. Shot put inside. May Heimlich goes up and in for 2. Her 4th point overall. Zoe McNeese. McNeese, a 7th grader, comes in for Harrison County. Her first varsity action of the season. It should be her first varsity action of her career coming in tonight. Shot put up and in as Brown goes to the line. Coming back in, I think it's Mertz, and that is Mertz. Second one up and in as well. 58-29, 3:01 left to play. Ball being passed around. May Heimlich about 15 feet out, puts it from the left corner. McNeese rebounds, gets it back into Heimlich, puts it back up. McNeese out with the rebound, up and in for her first varsity points. 60-29. Ball loose. McNeese fights for it. Brown comes out with it, flings it down the floor. Marks out with the rebound. She'll lead the charge, goes up and not able to make it fall. Daly goes with the rebound, back up. No, Marks out with the rebound, and she is being surrounded and will get stripped by Mertz. Mertz having all kinds of trouble. She gets stripped that time by Bradford. Bradford comes down, tries to go back to Marks. They lose a handle on it, and Espy will come out with it for the Bulldogs as we hit the 2-minute mark. She'll give away to Brown. Brown being guarded by Bradford. Gets away with a turnover, or palming the ball. Right now, I'd say with this score, the officials are just kind of trying to let it go. Mertz looking to go underneath. Instead, will give way. Back to Mertz. Mertz looking to go inside. Marks got a handle on it. Brown takes it away. Brown loses it. Back to Marks. Coming out with it will be McNeese. McNeese looks to go coast to coast. Up and in for two. Her 4th point of the ball game. 62-29 as we get 90 seconds. Brown with it out front, left side. Bulldogs go up, can't put it up, no good. May Heimlich out with the rebound. The sophomore gets it over across to Bradford. Bradford brings the ball down, gets it across the timeline, and I was going to say she's going to eat some clock. And she glances up, begins to run the play. Right side to Marks. Marks back to Bradford. Heimlich out on the left wing. Into the left corner. McNeese for three. Hits the side of the rim. Not able to make it fall. Heimlich back to McNeese. Another three-pointer. Too hard that time. And now with the rebound is Mertz as we go to 48 seconds. Brown brings the ball down on the right side. Brown goes up. Flings it up. Not able to make it fall. And we've got a foul against Harrison County, and that's against Marks. That will be Marks' second. Puts Brown back in the line. Seems like she spent the majority of this fourth quarter at the line. Has 6 points overall, or 7 overall, but took some here in the fourth. Up and in. She'll have another. Headfield will have his seat as Harrison County goes back to the bench. And Risa Heimlich will come back in. Too hard, and out with the rebound is Bradford. 40 seconds. Bradford trying to get down the floor. Everybody's left her except Brown, and you don't know who she wants to be with. 30 seconds. Bradford goes down, goes around the defense, loses a handle on it, and is fouled on the way to the basket. And that went against Northcutt. Carabelle Northcutt, who checked back in last dead ball. And that will put Bradford at the line. First trip there tonight, looking for her first point. Up and in. Freshman's first point of the season. She is now 1 for 3. She was 0 for 2 going to the line. A little too hard. Marks out with the rebound, looking to go up and cannot get it to fall. May Heimlich with the rebound to her sister Risa Heimlich. Misses the shot. 20 seconds. Ball loose and out of bounds. It'll go off of Harrison County. 18.8 seconds left. 63-30. Harrison up by 33. Stay with us. We will, after the ball game, we'll have our post-game report. We'll name the Jude Construction Player of the Game. And I do need to tell you about El Capricanton Daly's Lunch Specials. Always popular buffet. Calling your name in the Harrison Square Shopping Center. Great food out there. Some nice folks at El Capricanton Mexican Restaurant. Clock's going to run down. And long shot put up. But not able to make it fall, and that will be that. Harrison County picks up their first win of the season as they defeat Covington Holmes by a final of 63-30. Nice win here at the Hilltop. Very balanced attack. Everybody coming in to play tonight, getting some very valuable minutes overall for Harrison County. So very nice win for the Fillies here tonight as they knock off the Bulldogs. Covington Holmes goes to 1-4. Harrison County goes to 1-3. And we'll tell you to stay with us. We'll have our post-game report. We'll name the Judy Construction Player of the Game. We'll take a look at the individual numbers and be joined by Coach Watson and a whole lot more coming here from the press box. Once again, your final, Harrison County 63, Holmes 30 as the Fillies pick up their first win on the season. We're going to step out, do a little math, begin our post-game report. Tonight's ball game being brought to you, of course, on our YouTube page by Farm Credit Mid-America and by Kentucky Farm Bureau. You are listening, of course, to Harrison County Fillies basketball on WCYN.
Kentucky Farm Bureau agents wear a lot of hats. They're coaches, volunteers, church members, neighbors, someone who's there when you need them, especially when you need them most. That may be a lot of hats, but they're all the perfect fit. Kentucky Farm Bureau, big on commitment.
At Farm Credit Mid-America, we're here to make rural dreams a reality. Whether it's financing your farm, expanding your agribusiness, or building your country homes, we've been proudly supporting farmers and rural families for over a century. As a customer-owned cooperative, we don't just offer loans and insurance, we invest in your success. Call Michael Furnish at 859-254-2741 or visit fcma.com today. Farm Credit Mid-America, financing rural America's dreams.
Well, back at the Hilltop, the Phillies doing a very nice job. Very balanced attack. Everybody getting the scoring column with the exception of Camille Hadfield here tonight for Harrison County, and that's kind of what they needed. This Phillies ball club, as we said, going in, they had some trouble scoring. They were 0-3 on the young season. Got a huge game coming up on Friday night against Lexington Catholic, and Covington Holmes is kind of what the doctor ordered, so to speak. And the Bulldogs coming in as off of their one win a few nights ago as they go to 1-4 on the season. Harrison County led the entire night. Jumped out early, saw Holmes continue to fight their way back to make it a little closer. And the second half, just saw Harrison County just kind of take command and do what they needed to do here this evening. Let's take a look at as far as individual numbers. First for Holmes, they did not put anybody in double figures. They were led in scoring by London Scott. Scott had 9 points overall. She ended up going 3 for 6 at the stripe to help count for those 9 points. Then their second leading scorer is Brooklyn Brown. Brown had 8 points, but she made the majority of her points. In fact, 7 of her 8 came in that fourth quarter. And went to the stripe 8 times, hitting 6 out of the 8 to count for her 8 points here tonight. Rest of the scoring, Jada Hill with 4 points on the night, 0 for 1 at the stripe. Jade Moore with 4 points on the night as well. Aubrey Wilson with 3 points as she goes 1 for 4 at the free throw stripe to help count for her 3 points. And Paris Gregg went 2 for 4 at the stripe to count for her 2 points. That is the way they scored their 30. Harrison County, as we said, everybody getting the scoring column with the exception of the senior Camille Hadfield. Leading the way was Keely Custer, which is impressive considering Keely spent the majority of the night on the bench in foul trouble. She had 10 points overall. Then after that was Daly, the 7th grader, coming in and just taking command tonight, doing a nice job. She has 9 points, had 1 3-pointer, and goes 0 for 1 at the stripe. I failed to tell you, Custer went 2 for 2 at the stripe. That will count for her 10 points. 7 points for Kaylee Banks. Banks was 7, 5 of those coming in the fourth quarter, including 1 big 3-pointer. Let's see. Naomi Farrell-Law had 6 points, got into foul trouble. Didn't play a lot in the fourth quarter, but had 6 points overall, went 0 for 2 at the line. Risa Heimlich coming off the bench, a senior with a big 3-pointer to count for her 3 points. Lauren Hicks with a couple of points that come in early in the ball game, went 0 for 2 at the stripe. Naya Marks had 2 points, that coming in the fourth quarter to count for her 2. Marley Toll had 2 points early to count for her 2 points. Emma Wadlow having a good ball game overall before her being taken out. Hopefully she's okay. Is going out pretty hard. Had 2 points in the first half, had 3 points in the fourth quarter, including 1 for 1 at the line, had 5 points overall. Elisa Williams had a good night as well, had 8 points overall. She went to the line 8 times and hit 4 for 8 to help count for her 8 points. Kaylee Bradford 1 for 1 at the free throw stripe tonight. May Heimlich had 4 points coming off the bench this evening. And then Zoe McNeese, the 7th grader, coming off with a couple of shots down the stretch with 4 points on the night as well. That is the way the Phillies scored their 63 points on the evening. We'll name the Judy Construction Player of the Ball Game. Tonight's Judy Construction Player of the Ball Game, I'm going to give it to Daly. Daly came off the bench, really took command of things, and did what she needed to do. So Daly, the 7th grader, our Judy Construction Player of the Ball Game. So Harrison County with a nice win. As we said, they're back in action against Lexington Catholic this coming Friday night. That is 6:30, a little bit earlier. Opening of the 2A Section 5 tournament is what that is. And So, of course, that'll be, as we mentioned, this coming Friday night here at the Hilltop. As we continue, we'll get Coach mic'd up here and get him a couple of comments. Now joined by Harrison County head coach Bill Watson. And, Coach, you're not going to let you catch your breath after the big walk up here.
Yeah, where's the oxygen at? We need to open that window, look down and see the clouds.
Well, I made the joke before the game. I think somebody's adding steps. Every time I go down, it says there's somebody putting steps up here. But congratulations. Nice win. Very balanced attack tonight.
It was. Everybody got some solid minutes and got production in some shape, form, or fashion. Got some young kids in the game. So, but, what I told them, I'm out of shape. I'm old.
That's all right.
I told them, we did what good teams do. We got a lead. We extended the lead against an opponent that from a talent standpoint, isn't where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
But now we've got to do that against teams that we do match up well with. We'll get back in tomorrow, have a good practice. Excuse me. Have a good practice. Come back Thursday afternoon, hopefully, and have a good practice. And then get ready for a big 2A first-round game here Friday night against Lexington Catholic, weather permitting.
Is that doubleheader?
No.
Okay.
No, the boys aren't playing theirs till up in January.
Well, I wasn't sure if there was another part of the Section 5
they had,
teams or not.
The first round, you just got to get it in.
Okay.
And then the semis will be in the same time, and in the finals, obviously.
Okay.
The boys don't play. They got a bye. They don't play until mid to late January, I think.
Okay. Good deal. Well, as I mentioned, everybody got in the scoring column. You mentioned everybody getting valuable minutes with the exception of Hadfield as far as the scoring goes. And just really impressive as far as the balance attack, being able to get everybody in, and especially after Keeley goes down with foul trouble.
Well, foul trouble, and then I found out late in the first half that she wasn't feeling real well.
Oh, okay.
She didn't share that information with me, but Coach Marshall did. And, I asked her to start the fourth quarter because she hadn't played a lot. I said, "Do you want to try a couple minutes?" And she did. And then, we scored on like 3 straight possessions, so we went ahead and got her out. And then unfortunately, we had a young lady go down, and she's going to find out hopefully tomorrow what the doctor says, and hopefully it's nothing major because she's a big part of our program, a senior, Emma Wadlow. So if you can pray for her tonight, we'd appreciate that, and hopefully we get the best news we could possibly get.
Well, that was going to be my next question, how Emma was, but yeah.
She said she felt it pop, burning a little bit, so we're going to send her to Dr. Hunt tomorrow, and we'll go from there. But she had a really good game at Lloyd, had a good game tonight offensively, and was starting to do some things that we have been asking her to do for a while. But she was starting to do that and work her way into that rotation. Yeah. So hopefully there's nothing major, and she's good to go in a short period of time.
Well, Coach, before I let you go real quickly, as you mentioned, Friday evening at 6:30, Lexington Catholic. Lady Knights are always tough.
And it's a varsity game only. They're a little bit down. They're like us at times. They have trouble scoring. But I thought the first 4 minutes we threw it all over the place.
Yeah.
But after that, I thought we didn't pass up many open shots. Ball went in, ball came out, ball got thrown up the floor in transition. So things we have been preaching. So hopefully they can figure that stuff out now.
Well, they went. You mentioned that. Of course, they fought for every ball, and I mean they went in there and went strong and really looked good tonight against Holmes.
Well, and like I said, they're athletic.
Yeah.
They've been down for a while, but they're athletic and they play hard, and so I can rest easy tonight knowing we did what we were supposed to be doing.
Coach, I'm gonna let you go. Jim will be back with you on Friday, and good luck and thanks so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks. And of course, Harrison County head coach Bill Watson here tonight. We always appreciate him very much. So, and making that long trip up to the press box here this evening. Well, as we mentioned, Harrison County picks up their first win on the season. And nicely done as they defeat Covington Holmes by a final 63-30. We do need to say thank you to the folks allowing us to be here. Of course, some of our sponsors, Farm Credit Mid-America. Also, a big thank you, of course, goes out to Kentucky Farm Bureau as far as our YouTube page, as well as some of our other sponsors. We'll hear more about those in a moment. Need to say thank you also to Jake Fowler. Does a nice job on the video and allowing us to be here tonight doing a great job as well. Harrison County picks up the first win, goes to 1-3 on the year. Holmes falls to 1-4. 63-30 was your final. That's going to wrap up our coverage here from the Hilltop. Until Friday night, 6:30 scheduled tip-off is the Harrison County Fillies and Lexington Catholic Lady Knights will go one-on-one in the opening of the 2A tournament here this year. And until then, we'll say good evening, everyone.